Idolatry. Colossians 3:5 describes idolatry. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Let's look up mortify, therefore, members, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness. Mortify. Nekro in Greek. To make dead, to put to death, slay. Worn out of an impotent old man, to deprive of power, destroy the strength of. Therefore. Aun in Greek. Then, therefore, accordingly, consequently, these things being so. Members. Milos in Greek. A member, limb, a member of the human body, of bodies given up to criminal intercourse because they are, as it were, members belonging to the harlot's body. Fornication. Porneia in Greek. Illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, etc., sexual intercourse with close relatives, sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman, metaphorically the worship of idols, of the defilement of idolatry as incurred by eating the sacrifices. Uncleanness. Akatharsia in Greek. Uncleanness as in physical, in a moral sense, the impurity of lustful, luxurious, profligate living. Impure motives. Let's look up profligate. Profligate. Abandoned to vice, lost to principle, virtue, or decency, extremely vicious, shameless in wickedness, as a profligate man or wretch. Inordinate affection. Pathos in Greek. Whatever befalls one, whether it be sad or joyous, especially a calamity, mishap, evil, affliction, a feeling which the mind suffers, an affliction of the mind, emotion, passion, passionate deed, used by the Greeks in either a good or bad sense. In the New Testament, in a bad sense, depraved passion, vile passions. Evil. Kakos in Greek. Of a bad nature, not such as it ought to be, of a mode of thinking, feeling, acting, base, wrong, wicked, troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructive, baneful. Let's look up pernicious. Let's look up baneful. Pernicious. Evil examples are pernicious to morals. Intemperance is a pernicious vice. Destructive, having the quality of killing, destroying, or injuring, very injurious or mischievous. Food, drink, or air may be pernicious to life or health. Destructive, tending to injure or destroy. Let's look up intemperance. Let's look up vice. Intemperance. In a general sense, want of moderation or due restraint, excess in any kind of action or indulgence, any exertion of body or mind, or any indulgence of appetites or passions, which is injurious to the person or contrary to morality, as intemperance in study or in labor, in eating or drinking or in any other gratification. Hence, appropriately and emphatically, habitual indulgence in drinking spirituous liquors with or without intoxication. Vice. Properly a spot or defect, a fault, a blemish, as the vices of a political constitution. In ethics, any voluntary action or course of conduct which deviates from the rules of moral rectitude or from the plain rules of propriety. Any moral unfitness of conduct, either from defect of duty or from the transgression of known principles of rectitude. Vice differs from crime in being less enormous. We never call murder or robbery a vice, but every act of intemperance, all falsehood, duplicity, deception, lewdness, and the like is a vice. The excessive indulgence of passions and appetites which in themselves are innocent is a vice. The smoking of tobacco and the taking of snuff may in certain cases be innocent and even useful, but these practices may be carried to such an excess as to become vices. This word is also used to denote a habit of transgressing as a life of vice. Vice is rarely a solitary invader. It usually brings with it a frightful train of followers. Depravity or corruption of manners as in an age of vice. Concupiscence. Epithymia in Greek. Desire, craving, longing, desire for what is forbidden, lust. Covetousness. Pleonexia in Greek. Greedy, desire to have more, avarice. Let's look up avarice. Avarice. An inordinate desire of gaining and possessing wealth, greediness, or insatiable desire for gain. Let's look up idolatry. The worship of idols, images, or anything made by hands or which is not God. Idolatry is of two kinds: the worship of images, statues, pictures, etc. made by hands, and the worship of the heavenly bodies, the sun, the moon, and stars, or of demons, angels, men, and animals. Excessive attachment or veneration for anything or that which borders on adoration. Let's look at veneration. Veneration. The highest degree of respect and reverence, respect mingled with some degree of awe, a feeling or sentiment excited by the dignity and superiority of a person or by the sacredness of his character and with regard to its place, by its consecration to sacred services. We find a secret awe and veneration for one who moves above us in a regular and illustrious course of virtue.